Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mysteries of the Bayou. I'm Roy. Got a couple other short cases to cover today. The first one is going to be Shamekka Garnette. Shamekka was 20 years old. She was last seen October 13th, 2004. This was just a few days prior to her 21st birthday. She is from the Alexandria, Louisiana, Rapides Parish area. So she was last seen leaving home at approximately 11:30 p.m. with a friend in their vehicle. The vehicle was later abandoned on Lee Street, on the Lee Street on ramp to I-49 near Base Road. And the weird thing about this case is that there wasn't any other information that I could find that talked about her friend. It said the car was abandoned, but they never talked about either finding this other individual, questioning them, if it was man, woman, or anything about it. So I did feel like that was a little bit strange. On August the 17th of 2004, about 4 days later, her body was found in a drainage ditch off of Old Boyce Road. Now, the other thing that's strange about this is it's very unclear who is investigating this case. When you look at most of the coverage that this received in the media on the internet, it was credited with Repeat Sheriff's Department, but in contacting them for more information on the case, they explicitly said that the Alexandria Police Department was handling it. So what I did was reached out to the Alexandria Police Department for an opens records request, and they, after talking to 3 or 4 people in that jurisdiction, told me that they were not handling this case. So it's a little bit strange that neither one of these agencies, and before I kind of get off on a rant, I want to make sure that I'm very clear that I'm very pro law enforcement. I know these guys do a great job. A lot of the times there's not much to go on, and so some of these cold cases go cold, not because there really wasn't much effort, there just wasn't much to go on. But having said that, I do believe in transparency. I do believe in law enforcement agencies honoring the open request, open records, open information requests from the public as per the statute of the state. In this case, it's RS 44.1, and it lays it out and very clear what is considered public information. Now, in ongoing investigations, of course, they always want to hold things back. They don't want to do something to jeopardize the uh, investigation in case they were to arrest somebody in the future. But the reality is that there is still information that can be released. And not only did they not release it, but I really felt like, in going back to the case that we had last week with Teresa Gilcrease, I really feel like that the Rapid Sheriff's Department was just playing games. And I actually reached out to the Louisiana Attorney General's office. And of course, first off, they acted like they didn't know what was going on. They said they don't represent individuals. I explained to the young lady that this was a state statute, that they are the lawyers for the state, and that they should be enforcing the statutes that the legislature deems necessary to put out. So in turn, they should be making sure, and then they should be investigating when agencies aren't being transparent and aren't releasing public information as they should. But needless to say, I never heard back from the investigators. Supposedly that was assigned to this through the Attorney General's office. So it's easy to understand why families get very discouraged because of the lack of information, and I understand, have a much better understanding now of why a lot of people that I know out of the Louisiana area are very distrustful of local law enforcement and of the Louisiana government structure altogether. I can officially say that I have bumped into that, excuse me, and I know exactly what they're talking about. It's just a little bit fishy that nobody knows who's got the investigation. And the other thing, I guess I kind of feel like, we are trying to help the families by putting the information out there again, giving a different format, different listeners, or whatever you might call it. But, we just want to help them find the answers to these questions. So if you've got, as a law enforcement agency, if you have somebody that is wanting to help you publicize a 15-year-old unsolved murder case, I would think that they would do everything that would be possible to not only help get the coverage, but to be involved and provide some details. And of course, they were extended and offered to be on the show and turn that down as well. So anyway, sorry for the rant. Just like I said, we kind of bumped into a little bit of problems up until this point. Nothing like this. So it's just very strange. The other one is that we've got the Deal Crease that we covered last episode. But the other thing I saw doing a little bit more research on this is that, again, this is not coming from law enforcement. I think it's coming from a family member, but they said, my understanding that Shamekka Garnette and Courtney Coco were friends, and we haven't covered Courtney's case yet. It's been on the agenda to take a look at, but it has been covered a lot, so it's kind of a deciding factor for actually taking that case on, and hopefully it will be covered in the near future on Mysteries of the Bayou. But Courtney lived in, from what little details I have, she was from Alexandria. She was going to school, and it's kind of unclear where she went missing from, school or home, but they found her over in Beaumont, between Beaumont and Houston, and then found her car in Houston, I think. So it's strange, but I think that Courtney's mother, and Courtney's death happened 4 months after Shamekka. And so Courtney's mother feels very strong that they were connected in some way, just because they were friends, and then just the way things happened. But again, from what I read, the Rapide Parish Sheriff's Office declined to confirm that these may or may not be related. Anyway, if you have any information on Shamekka Garnette, last seen in August of 2004, please call both the Alexandria Police Department and the Rapide Sheriff's Office. Somebody, hopefully we can find somebody to take that information. If not, get a hold of the state police and let them know that you have information regarding Shamekka Garnette or Courtney Coco or Teresa Gilcrease. Any of those, let them know for sure. So let's move on to our next case. This one is William Thomas Lyles, and he was born in 1974 in Cotton Port, Louisiana. He graduated from Bunkie High School, and he was found deceased on September 10th, 1995, which would have made him 21 years old. He was a sophomore in college, attending the University of Southwest Louisiana at Lafayette. He died from drowning, but it has been considered a homicide with no suspects. He was found early on early on a Sunday morning in the Vermillion River, close to Interstate 10, a passerby noticed his car was partially submerged in the water, and his body was found near the car. An autopsy, as I said, an autopsy showed that he was a victim of drowning, but his cause of death may have been due to head injuries that were consistent with the beating. Now, detectives said that they believe that his car and his body did not go into the river at the same time. The witnesses had reported talking to William sometime between around 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. So there's a gap between those people that said they talked to him at 3 a.m. and him being found around 9 a.m. on September 10th. Sad thing is that his mother, Sharon K. Reynolds, passed away in 2012, never knowing the truth about what happened to her son. So again, reached out to the Lafayette Police Department. The Parish Sheriff's Office said that the city police was handling it. Of course, never heard back from them. I think there was some other red tape that they didn't want to supply the information over the internet. They wanted somebody to either come in or some kind of a deal like that. But anyway, both of these, again, William Thomas Lyles, this has been since 1995. So going on 25 years or just past 25 years. It would be great if we could get some information. Again, tried to reach out to some family members and did not have any luck in getting a hold of them, or they didn't want to speak with us either way. But if you know a family member, if you are a family member, if you're a friend, somebody that may have gone to school with either one of them, we again would be interested in speaking with you to try to gain a little bit more clarity on the information surrounding the time leading up to the deaths. I'm sure there may have not have been anybody else that witnessed it. But again, if we could build the puzzle of the the time frame and the events that led up to both of these deaths, we may be able to at least provide law enforcement with some other clues where they can continue the investigation. So anyway, first one, Shamekka Garnette, last seen August 2004 out of Alexandria, Louisiana, or Rapides Parish. And again, she was found in a drainage ditch off of Old Boyce Road. She left home at approximately 11:30 p.m. with a friend in the friend's vehicle, and not much other information on that. So if you can help shed some light on that, please give them a call. The second one again, William Thomas Lyles. This is from 1995. Found in the Vermilion River. He was a student at the University of Southwest Louisiana and Lafayette. It did look like that he probably had been in a fight or just beaten prior to being thrown into the river, where his car was submerged as well. Like I said, there were witnesses that said that they had talked to him at 3 a.m. in the morning, but there's a 6-hour gap between 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. when he was found. Again, this is out of Lafayette. I'm fairly certain the Lafayette Police Department is handling it, but if you have information, you reach out to Lafayette Police, or you can reach out to the Lafayette Parish Sheriff's Office. That is going to do it for this episode. I've got a couple more cases putting together for our next one. Again, you can find us at www.mysteriesofthebayou.com. Of course, we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also have a YouTube channel where you can go actually see the episodes as they've been videoed. So if you have any case submissions, please email those to me at roy@mysteriesofthebayou.com, or you can reach out through any one of the social media channels. Be glad to take a look. Again, if you are a family member, know a family member, or a friend of Shamekka, Garnette, Lyles would be interested in speaking with you about that, and run a special episode with whatever information that you could provide. Until next time, take care of yourself, please.